The hardest part of staying on the right path is if it doesn't give you any feedback for a very long time. So you begin to doubt whether you're on the right path, or you just get bored with it and you try other things and end up going off the path or distracted. So it's an interesting thought. Is there a way to create a circumstance where being on the right path gives you the feedback that you need to stay on the right path? Now you could try like rewarding yourself, right? So like every time you go to the gym, you also, get a meal that you really like or something like that, your favorite food or a treat or something like that, right? Something that reinforces the positive behavior. Um, and that could be good for like individual acts, like going to the gym. But what about things like, staying on the right path can be pretty complex. For one person, it might include like, choosing not to lie, going to bed on time, uh, sort of working really hard at work or showing up fully at work, doing their best, and so on. It could be like a multitude of things. So it can be hard to reinforce that. But I think it really helps when the behaviors are intrinsically rewarding. So if you can build up your right path to be full of behaviors that by themselves make you want to do them again. So for example, if you do really well at work or you do your best at work, you bring your best self, you're very enthusiastic about it, you try your hardest, you learn as much as you can. That's often self-reinforcing because you'll get positive feedback from those around you. You'll feel good about the work you do, the results will be better, you'll get promoted more often, and so on. In a similar sense, like going to the gym eventually becomes self-reinforcing because you produce endorphins. It feels positive. If you're doing it with someone else, even better. If you go out for food afterwards, even better, right? So I think the key to staying on the right path isn't necessarily picking the hardest, correct path. It might just be filling it with activities that are sustainable and self-reinforcing. And so even if it's not as high a path as someone else might take, it requires a lot less willpower and discipline and can just be self-sustained. So it's likely you'll stay on it for years and years rather than trying to pick like the best possible path, but then quitting within, a few months, if that. So it's interesting to think like perfect isn't always perfect in that sense. Perfect is often what we can execute on a regular basis, what we can stick to. It's kind of like that saying, right? The best diet is the one that you can stick to. So, in a similar sense, I think the best path is the one that you can stick to.